go ahead and get started with this. So Holding Patterns is an unreleased track.
Yes.
It's the opener to the EP. And did you play this one live during the tour?
We did twice.
Yeah, we've done it twice.
No, wait. 3 times, actually, because
What's up, Sean?
we did it for the
'cause
Seattle
Sacramento,
show,
yeah.
Sacramento, and Colorado.
Okay. So then I think I heard that at the Colorado one. But, I mean, I really wasn't... live is different. Like, I don't even remember anything about it. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Good. Fresh start. Oh, I see our poster.
Yeah.
I
It's
do.
written really well there.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
And then I guess breakdown-wise, song breakdowns afterwards.
Sure.
Okay, hell
I
yeah.
think that's a good route there.
Mhm.
All right, everyone in chat, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and start on the opening track of this EP. Can y'all hear
Make
that
sure.
on your end?
Let me see.
Working for me.
Yep.
All right. What were you gonna say? Make sure what?
Make sure Twitch isn't getting your feed of it and the Discord feed of it.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
like,
good. Yeah, we're
definitely.
good. It only comes through on your voice.
Awesome.
So this track is called Holding Patterns. We'll do a little breakdown afterwards. This is my first listen.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd call it home for a little. Do you ask yourself where I've gone? Well, I know I should. It might be forever, but forever don't feel like enough. I thought there'd be more.
Yeah, that intro is a vibe.
The clock still spinning on and on, and I know I should just step on the embers, 'cause I'm a stone burn like the sun.
Ooh, I love synth.
Oh, I feel the oceans rise, feel fire, ice and snow. My shadows come to pull me away into the dark and beyond. I ever meant to know. I thought I'd call it home for a little.
Oh, this is vibey.
Mm-hmm.
The plucky part, yeah. Chat, can you hear the song okay? Cool. I love the stargaziness of this. I wish I knew like the technical terms for what I'm trying to discuss.
Yeah,
That
okay.
very slight.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the bass guitar. I don't know, but there's like a very slight rhythm in the background that I really like. That kind of just balances it out.
Of this part?
Yeah. Like da na 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 na. Ooh. Yeah, that lead. we found the Symmetry 2.0.
In a way, yeah.
In a way. That, at least that style of song. I love Audrey's voice.
Yeah.
Gotta love the feedback. Is it gonna go right into the next song, or am I gonna have to manually click it?
Because it's Dropbox, you'll have to manually click
Okay,
it.
that's good too, because we're gonna talk about it.
Yes.
Give us a little break.
So holding patterns is technically in the lore, holding patterns takes place directly after Symmetry.
Okay.
When Eden is fleeing Neptune, because Neptune has turned to ice, it is melting, it's on fire. Eden has been pulled back to the Texas, which is the ship, by Sev or 0072. And this is the kind of the conversation, or I guess it's an introspective look at the conversation of what happened on Neptune and kind of like being stuck in a holding pattern, which is just when you can't land at an airport and like you can't like do anything, so you just have to hold. And so it's that moment before Eden and Sev begin their journey back home.
Yeah, I mean, especially after that explanation, I can totally see how that fits in perfectly with that.
Hell yeah.
Now,
and it also definitely helps that Symmetry literally fades into holding patterns.
Yep.
Like in a musical pattern in a way as well.
Now, for instance, when I do get the vinyl, are all 10 tracks on one side? Or is it two discs?
EP1 is going to be on side A, and
Okay.
EP2 is going to be on side B.
Okay.
So you won't be able to hear it on the vinyl, obviously, because you have to flip it over. But one point we are making is that like EP1 wraps itself up. So Symmetry bleeds back into empty space. But then also Symmetry bleeds into holding pattern, and Gemini 4, the end of EP2, bleeds back into empty space. So the self-contained releases are cyclical, but then also the grander story is also cyclical. So like song 1 on the LP that we're writing right now comes right off of Gemini 4. And the last song on the LP will wrap into that song, but it will also wrap back into empty space.
Nice. I've been digging the teasers you've been putting out on Twitter, the riffs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I put on my big girl pants for writing riffs of this LP.
Yeah, I think that song's gonna get a lot of playtime for me because like whenever I'm driving, I have to be in a mood to listen to like heavy music when I'm driving. I like stuff that I can just, put on and kind of chill and vibe to.
Yeah.
Which is another reason just why I like y'all's music so much to begin with. But that song specifically, like Symmetry gets played quite a bit in the car. So that will
You're gonna love the new LP.
Okay.
So I can't give too much away. But what I am allowed to say is that we are pushing the heavier side of us, much heavier, as you can tell, and much more technical. We are pushing the shoegazier side of us, shoegazier, and the pop side of us to be poppier.
Nice.
So we're essentially taking what we've kind of contained into this little bubble of what it is, like what FOXCULT is, and we're just expanding it even more.
Awesome. Okay, so the next one is Astral Gallery. We'll go ahead and just give that a spin because why not? I still think this might be feature of the year. Michael just killed it.
It really did.
I miss him already. I miss them so much.
It was so cool that during that tour you were able to have him come on stage for that part, and Audrey was able to come on for that new song. I can never remember the name of that, but I know every lyric.
Hi. Really?
Sorry for the ads, I can't control it. For anyone watching, I saw, Lauren, I saw Jules is looking to move to Seattle too, or was that just wishful thinking?
Potentially, like, talking about it, it's sort of wishful thinking at the moment just because of, like, the job market and, like, how realistic it is to find housing, like, here, but there's a possibility. A number of us are thinking about it, even though I'm already here. Just trying to help get the whole family out here.
So I take it that this is the return back from Neptune?
So what this actually is there is a pocket of space. Just for everyone else listening, I'll wait till the end of this song.
Okay. You did get a new guitar, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So is that gonna have like a slightly different sound to it? I don't really know how guitars work.
I'll go get it. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm also gonna place the order for mine very soon.
Nice.
It's not gonna be a Jackson, no. Graphics Jackson looks beautiful and it plays really well. I love that so far, but I'm sticking with good old Ibanez.
Oh, like she's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Is that
I am
7 strings?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I got
We've
endorsed by
officially-
Jackson, so I have made the switch from Gallagher to Jackson, and I'm very happy. Okay, so Astral Gallery. That song takes place between, I guess it's the start of the journey home. So Eden and Sev are aboard the Texas, and they are on their journey home, and they are in between Neptune and Uranus, and they come upon a wormhole that happens to be between the two planets. And there's 3 very important things, I guess 2 really. Skaggs' feature is the first feature that we ever did, obviously, for good reason. And that's because everyone who is involved with FOXCULT, whether it's our team members, it's like a back of house crew, front of house, like people who do features, they all get a character in the universe. So Skaggs' character is essentially a farmer who has been like not expelled or like outlawed from the city of Rust, but he's like on the outskirts of town on his own little like crazy farm, and he's actually been picking up rogue signals that have been being sent from the Texas back to a planet where Major Welland is. I can't say what planet yet. Okay. But he's only getting bits and pieces of the messages. So that's why his character is like frantic, and he's like trying to decipher this thing. And it's because for months and months, he's only been getting bits and pieces, words here and there about like what's happening. And he shouldn't have even been getting these messages to begin with, which is why in all the teasers, he's like frantically like scribbling on paper. He's like crumpling things up. He's like talking to himself, like getting really, really mad. And it's all for good reason. And then in between Neptune and Uranus, they happen upon a wormhole, which Eden had never known was there. No one had known it was there. And they get sucked into it, which is where the song Wormhole takes place.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, this is all for me. I still got to go through whatever that Google Doc or whatever that is, but the explanations help me so much more in understanding like how it all, like every detail ties together, because on the surface you wouldn't know that.
Yep. But everything that we do is important. And like one thing that a lot of people don't notice is that it might look like our release times and like when we make announcements and stuff like that are random, but they're not. They're all specifically chosen. So a lot of our base release times for like announcements and stuff is actually based on what time it is on Mars, because Mars is where the Planetary Survey Network has a headquarters at.
Okay.
And so we base everything as if it was being released by the Planetary Survey Network, who in universe right now are the bad guys. And like Wormhole, for example, its release date, when we were doing like all the teasers and everything for all the songs, I actually went down, I broke down and I learned the actual like mathematical equation to figure out how long it would take stuff to get from like one planet to another based on like astronomical units and light speed and like all of this crazy ass like equations, so that like we could tie like when the dissertations get released, like of like the characters, it's all based on how long it would take things to get from Mars to Earth based on like when things dropped and like if it was sent here, when it would get there, and like it's fucking insane. But it's all to serve a greater purpose. And like when we start doing our LP release cycle, it's going to be taken even further. It's going to be based on like planetary alignments and like shit that's happening in like the grander universe, because it's all for a purpose. It's all for a reason.
Nice.
We have friends at NASA for a reason.
That's awesome. That just makes it so much more exciting, like for me personally. I'm sure for other people too, once you know, because you are growing at a steady pace, and once more people get more into the actual universe that you've kind of created here, that'll be really exciting as well.
Hell yeah. I'm so excited for more people to learn.
Oh yeah. Thanks again for all the
Okay,
bits.
so then Wormhole.
So yeah, let's listen to that real quick, and then the next unreleased. This is just a banger, you know?
I love this song.
I forgot it doesn't have the extended intro like we've been doing live.
You're right.
I'm so used to that now.
Yeah, that extended intro was pretty great. I love the just Mia crushed it. All of you crushed it, but those drums intros are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, lyrically, it just all makes so much more sense now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. It's the song is called "Wormhole" by FOXCULT. I love all the layering in that part. God, yeah, those synth breaks. I get horny for some synth.
You're gonna love the LP.
Mm-hmm. I'll be right back for a bit.
There is a question for you in chat, Ash.
Okay, I'll answer it after.
That bouncy riff is so fun.
Okay, so yeah, so obviously that song takes place, they get flung through a wormhole. Two things. The Sentinels that they reference are essentially a rogue AI that is monitoring Eden and Sev aboard the Taxes, but from like externally. And they don't know that they're there. But the kind of crux to everything is that the Texas, the ship that Eden and Sev are on, has actually been sending back periodic messages to Captain or Major Welland without anyone's knowledge, because that's what Sev was designed to do before it was like co-opted by Eden to be like her AI. And so Sev has even no idea that it's doing this, and is the reason Eden has been found. To answer this question, though, it is both. So our wordplay is very specific. It is absolutely based on like kind of what you see when you go through the wormhole, but it is also part of what Eden sees in the mirror. And it is, I want to preface that the relic that Eden touches is not a mirror and it's not ice. So underneath Neptune, and what you guys will come to learn in like the future as more songs get released, 2 to 3 planets in every system have a relic hidden inside of them. And because these relics are tied to the painters, painters don't really know that these relics are there, and Eden finding one is the first case of anyone knowing this.
Oh.
And so what happens, and the reason this EP is so important, is because Eden hasn't been on Earth for almost her entire lifespan. She ran when she was like 6. She was like super, super young. And so when Eden's original name was Ethan, Ethan became Eden. Eden is trans. Every like 1,000 or so years, there is what's known as a male-born painter.
Okay.
All painters in this society are it's matriarchal. So in all the planets and all the systems, the painters are matriarchs. And every couple thousand years, there is a male-born painter. Eden was that painter. These painters are typically imbued with special powers. And so what happened when Eden went down and touched the relic is this relic is essentially a giant sheet of black nothing, like nothingness.
Okay.
And so when she goes up and she touches it, she goes blind temporarily, and she gets access to the watercolors.
Oh.
And typically that is only possible once you've gone through the ritual that all the painters do when they become of age, and they tether to the life force of a planet. Eden's ability, though, is she is able to take that tether from another painter and give it to herself by touching a relic. So when Eden touched the relic on Neptune, it started killing Painter Neptune back on Earth.
Oh.
Nobody knew this. Back on Earth, everyone just thinks Painter Neptune started dying because when you're tied to the life force of a planet, you are then regulated by how planets age and stuff like that. So some painters are thousands of years old, some are 4 years old. Like it really just depends. Eden is not rogue, actually. Eden is, what's the word? Eden is unaware.
Okay.
And I think that's a very specific point I want to make, is Eden was pulled and called to this relic on Neptune, which is what the first EP is about. And this EP is that journey back and kind of reconciling with everything. And so, yeah, at the end of Wormhole, Eden, I guess, hold on, sorry. I'm going to say one more thing about the relic. When Eden blacked out and was able to gain access to the watercolors because she was blinded, that is how she got off of Neptune and got back to the surface so that Sev could pull her back to the ship. It's almost like you're seeing things like it's like almost like echolocation, but it's with vibrant streams of color. And it's a crazy thing that we actually have like a big like dissertation on to like explain how it works, but I'm not going to get into that on this stream. But the end of Wormhole ends with, the reason the song just kind of ends abruptly is because it's Eden and Sev inside the Texas being spit out into a new system called NGC 3603. Which is a star birthing cluster in a different part of the galaxy. So everything is tied together.
Blowing my mind a little bit there.
It gets worse, let me tell you. It gets much crazier.
Is that a good segue into NGC?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
All right.
Perfect one.
Let's rip that. This is you played this live once as well, right?
No, we played this every day on tour.
Yep.
I love this song.
And watercolors shows too.
Okay.
All the
That's
time.
why this sounds a little bit more familiar to me. Oh, that's right. I remember the sound of this chorus. Oh yeah, that hits hard. Are you gonna have one more like visualizer or video for either of these songs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that chorus is good. Thanks for following, Hazen. And thanks again, Cool, for all those bits. And thank you as well, Shawnee. Ooh, the synth. Bonus points to anyone in chat that might know where that bit sound alert is from.
I love playing that song. It's
Same.
always it's such a banger.
Chat can tell. Chat can tell.
I'm like, as soon as I heard it, I had to bust it out for a bit.
So that song takes place obviously in this new cluster, and that bridge where it got like super pretty for a second is actually a motif of the bridge of Wormhole.
Oh, okay.
And it's Eden and Sev getting sucked back through the wormhole and flung back through the other side back in our galaxy.
Oh.
And so the end of that song is essentially the journey from the wormhole between Uranus and Neptune and them getting back to Earth, essentially.
Oh, okay. That's just like a really pretty, catchy song.
Mm-hmm.
And even
Thank
like
you.
even the little heavy bits there, I like that. Spice it up a little bit.
Hell yeah.
It does.
And then the next song, obviously, Gemini 4.
My baby.
It is, so again, Tom obviously does a feature on it. he was the second feature for a very specific reason. So Tom is a character in the universe known as Deimos, or Casey, before he became what's called a satellite. And so, pre becoming a satellite, Casey was essentially the architect's historian, which is why he voices all of our like overdubs and all of
Kind of
that
like the
stuff.
narrator.
Yeah, exactly. Because he is essentially recording the adventures of Eden into history for FOXCULT. I mean, for the architects. And when a painter becomes a painter, and when a woman becomes a painter and she goes through the ritual, the first task that she is tasked with is essentially choosing a satellite, which is a male-born architect, like in that region, who will essentially go and be their diplomat. Because once you become a painter, you are not allowed to leave the temple, because you're blind. Like, you literally cannot see. And you make all of the important decisions that happen in this society. So you are essentially stricken to this temple where the rituals take place, and your satellites will go and do your bidding. So Deimos, Casey, became the figurehead of this society, essentially, by being picked. Also, because he was a historian beforehand, he has the most breadth of knowledge in everything. The important part about this is Casey's character, or Tom's character, is probably the most important non-band member character in the universe.
Yeah.
Reason being is that, one, Lyra, who is Lauren's character, and Deimos had a little thing for each other. And what you'll learn in the future is that Lyra is actually the reason that the crew of misfits, we'll call them, got captured by the Planetary Survey Network, because she gave up the information. And that's in like the teasers. But what people don't know is that, and I'll drop this because there's some people watching and someone will write this down somewhere, is that at the end of this EP and Tom's feature in this EP, what it's doing is, this is Tom, who has also been collecting rogue like messages and decoding them, and has figured out that Eden is returning to home after 16 years of being gone.
Okay.
And Tom knows something, but doesn't know what. So he needs to find who is dubbed the Great Explorer and figure out what's happened. Which is why like his lines are about shifting through rubble and like finding stuff, because he's essentially going to go on a rescue mission.
Yeah.
But what this is going to do is that this is going to cause Painter Mars, the original Painter Mars before it becomes Mia, to chase after Deimos. And it's going to get Painter Mars killed.
Ooh.
And there's never been a painter who has died before, except for Painter Mars. And that's where Mia steps in. And Mia's character becomes Painter Mars. And there's more to that that I'll explain afterwards.
Okay.
So you can play.
Cool. Right. So, Chad, this is Gemini 4.
My fave.
Yeah, this is my favorite song off the EP, and it's a
You can
close
start. I'll be
second
right back.
to Silicone Dream.
Oh yeah.
This song just like punches you in the face at the beginning.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
What's so interesting is that before we recorded the vocals for this, I was listening to the instrumental of it, and it sounds like a completely different song than with the vocals on it. Like, it sounds like two completely different songs. And I, like, if you kind of imagine it when you hear the end, like, the ending like outro of like the fading synth sounds completely different without vocals. Like it just changes the mood, and you can hear more of like Ash's guitar leads like in this chorus if you kind of imagine it. And I just really prefer how the instrumental sounds. Not saying I don't like Audrey's vocals, but like it's a different song.
Instrumentally, the song is just gorgeous. It's like, this is my favorite, I think, of all the ones as far as like Mia's drumming. It's just so prominent.
Oh, she shines in this song.
And it's such a good feature too. So when were the vocals for this recorded?
This was so Audrey records her vocals on her own around like Niagara Falls, Toronto area. She rents out a studio on her own to do her vocal takes, and everyone else who does like a vocal feature either does the recording themselves or has like someone they know record the vocals from them. Yeah, everything else is just either track DI, and the drums we recorded in what we dubbed the Legolas Crack Den, which is the practice space right above El Corazon, the last place you saw us play live. Yeah, we rented a room upstairs to initially rehearse for the debut Seattle show, and we just decided we wanted to record the drums back there again, so we just did that.
Thanks for following Irene as well. And you've known Tom for a while, right, Ash?
Yeah.
Song is just so good.
Okay, so I did want to make a correction. It wasn't Deimos that ran. It was the previous Mars satellite named Phobos, and Phobos ran, and that's who got Mars killed. And then they picked a new Mars, and then Mia's Mars picked Casey to be her satellite.
Okay.
I just wanted to correct that. I was like going to the bathroom and I was like, oh, I said that wrong. So that song is really important because it sets the tone of Tom being the narrator in this universe. Yeah. And we needed someone who could commit to being a vocal feature for years.
Oh, okay.
So there is a reason that the last thing you hear on this EP is Tom.
Okay.
It's going to be the first thing you hear on the LP too.
Ooh. Spoiler alert. I love it.
Yes. But yeah, so that song is essentially about Eden crashing back to Earth aboard the Texas and it landing somewhere in the tundra. So.
All right. I keep thinking about how like insane this would be for like a mini series or a movie or something.
So we're making comics.
Oh, sweet.
We are making comics. We're making a lore Bible. We are trying to do. It's going to be more complicated than we are wanting it. Oh, not that we want it, than we're capable of doing right now. Yeah. But how the release structure for the LP is going to be is we have a pretty hefty budget, and a lot of it goes into video. and it's
Sweet.
because our release structure for the LP is going to be completely different than pretty much any band has ever done. Because we're going to drop essentially short films based around these characters, and like those are going to be the things that drop before songs.
Oh.
And so like we're going to drop like a 10 to 15 minute short film, and somewhere in that short film is going to be the song that's dropping. It might be in the background, it might be like an overdub, but it will be in there. And then the next day we will release the single. And
Nice.
there's a world where we're contemplating doing double singles for some of the releases, but the LP is shaping up to be like 14 songs long.
Yeah.
So we have plenty of music.
Yeah.
To say the least. So
there's plenty of material to pick from, and
yeah,
we're getting very ambitious for what we'd like to do versus what we'll be able to actually get accomplished. But I'm really happy with the ideas everyone's cooking up.
And
yeah, that's exciting.
Speaking of LP1, because you have been such a great just supporter, I want to give you, because you'll forget it by the time these songs come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to give you an instrumental sneak peek at one of the songs.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
Because I want to get someone's so an outside opinion, you know?
Yeah.
Valnix, yes,
As
absolutely.
a non-musician.
So we have 2 songs on the LP dubbed Watercolor Memories that are like, those are the song names that precede a color-based song, and those will be instrumental songs with like Tom's voiceovers. So I had like an instrumental like post-rocky side project called Watercolors. And about 6 months ago, before we started planning the LP, I actually decided to just merge it with FOXCULT. So we are getting to share more with people than just like our normal stuff.
Yeah.
So I want you to pick either 1 or 13.
There's no in between, just those 2 numbers.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with 1.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, you picked a very good choice.
Okay.
You did.
Oh boy.
You're gonna fucking freak out.
Okay.
I'm gonna come.
Well, thanks
Thousand
everybody
Below
for
time?
hanging out. Yeah, we're gonna listen to another one of my favorite band's songs real quick that just came out this past weekend.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that was special. Thank you so much for giving me your insight on those songs from the EP, and then that sneak peek. That's just awesome.
Of course. Happy to.
Anyways, I appreciate y'all's time. Thanks for hopping on last minute today.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us. It was fun.
Yeah. This has made me even more excited, and I definitely needed to. I mean, now I'm much more educated on the lore itself, but I'm excited for like the comics and the lore Bible, or however you were describing that, because it will all just kind of like make it click even more. So,
Yippee!
I'm glad.
I'm excited for you to get your hands on them.
yeah. Well, it's always good to chat and hang out with y'all, but I'm gonna end stream now. Chat, thanks for hanging out, and everybody
It's so
have a good
fun.
night.